Hello, this is Heavy Hanging Punching Bag version 1, Senior Project. My name is Ariel Arbona. I am the sole member of the team, and this is the wish list and shortcomings for this rendition the of the software. So, going ahead and get started. The first thing on the wish list is cloud database. So, right now the software uses a local database, specifically MySQL, and that is an issue in the sense that only users with that database in their computers will be able to run the software because the software extracts data and pushes data to that database, that local database. So to be able to put it on multiple users on multiple PCs, you would need to recreate the database, the local database, with the same tables, um, same relations and stuff like that. So a cloud database such as Oracle or Microsoft Azure um, would actually push this software to a newer heights since all the data for all the users would be centralized. You wouldn't need to, install a version of the SQL server in each computer or embed it into the code such that it will make the actual software run slower and take way much work or way much more time to install. So going on to the next thing, real user versus user. So right now the user versus user um, is only designed to capture one user's data. So it will display both users, but it will only save one user. The reason for that is I didn't have time to actually implement two actual database users going head to head. So right now it will be one user, one database user going against a guest, which is another word for just a display user. So they will be able to use the software, um, but they won't be able to record data into the database. That would only be an ability of a registered user. And as far as the version 1 of the program, there can only be one logged in uh, database user, registered user. So that would be on the wish list for the next one. So um, connection security. So since this is handling people's datas and information such as sex, height, weight, age, stuff like that. So a more secure way to connect to and from the database would be required. Right now, the connection is only form based, so it generates the connection through reading the database, but it doesn't have a secure store or a secure fetch from the database. It'll just strictly query the database from the code, and that obviously is a security flaw because anybody can inject code into the software and be able to query the database. So you would need a secure store and fetch from the database to be able to prevent that. Next is Google Facebook integration. So this is on the wish list for the product owner. He wanted users to be able to log in with their Google and Facebook accounts and automatically be synced into or be signed up for the software instead of just going through the regular register. So that goes along with the cloud database. You can actually do that from a local database. You need an API. That API calls back to the either Oracle or Azure or whatever cloud database is being used, and you'll be able to fetch people's accounts and stuff like that. And that also goes along with connection security. So that also implements security factor in there. So next is more modes, animation, or feedback. So this has to do with, for example, the color switch between thresholds. So if it's over the threshold, it'll go green. If it's under, it'll go red. More modes gives more freedom for the user to, use the punching bag. Um, I don't know, maybe a mode for like kick only, where the bag will be able to detect if it's a kick or a punch, and then it'll tell you, hey, you can't punch, or it has to be kicks only. Uh, or another mode where it'll actually challenge you, like a versus computer. Um, and then animations, stuff like the punches will actually vibrate the screen, or if you hit it really hard, it'll go out, or stuff like that. So it all ties into like feedback and animation and stuff like that. Um, and then lastly, it'll be real accuracy testing. So these sensors are um, they're not they're not that accurate. They are think of them 10% accuracy, uh, as developed by the engineering team, but they do feel less accurate than that. So a more like a more real way to test the accuracy of the sensor would be nice, like get the sensor and then put it in another bag and test it there, or create multiple sensors, put it in multiple bags, and see the difference between the data that they're both outputting. So something like that, which is limited me to version one, whereas I only had one punching bag, so I couldn't have like various test cases of various punching bags, various sensors, and then see if it's like a sensor thing or it's like a code uh, a code error or sensor logical error, stuff like that. So um, finally, this all of these couldn't be fulfilled within the allotted time for the project. It was a lot, and that was the only one. I'm the only team member, so this would be version two, hopefully. All right, thank you.